Mendeecees for admitting he'd hidden the call. Others criticized them for oversharing and accused them of orchestrating a media stunt. As she scrolled, Yandy paused on a comment from a fan she respected. "This is real love. Haters will hate, but true supporters see the whole picture." She allowed herself a small smile before putting her phone down. Later that day, she got a call from Rashida. Rashida's voice was both sympathetic and intrigued. "Girl, I saw what you dropped online. You've been through fire. Proud of you." Yandy laughed softly. "Thanks, sis. It's a mess, but it feels right." Rashida hesitated. "Word is, Jessica wants you at her retreat next week. She says she's planning something that could clear the air for all of you." Yandy's heart sank at the thought of more cast drama. "I don't know if I'm ready to face everyone yet," Rashida chuckled. "You'll handle it like you always do. Truth and grace." The afternoon brought another surprise when a fan page had leaked a behind-the-scenes clip of Erica backstage at the studio. Tears in her eyes as she spoke into her phone. In the clip, Erica said, "I didn't mean to hurt Yandy. Producers twisted my words, made me sound cloudy. I feel sick about it." The leak ignited a wave of sympathy for Erica, complicating the narrative. Yandy watched the clip, her empathy wearing with her frustration. That night, Yandy hosted a small dinner with close friends and family to decompress. The table was intimate. Mendeecees, Kendra, Rashida, and her sister Koyelia. They laughed over takeout, joked about the absurdity of reality TV, toasted 2 better days ahead. Yet underneath the laughter, the topic of Erica and the retreat hovered unspoken. After dinner, Koyelia pulled Yandy aside. "You've got to protect your peace, Yandy. Don't get sucked into another round of her drama." Yandy nodded, appreciating the reminder. "I'm trying, but I also feel like I owe it to the truth." Mendeecees joined them, wrapping an arm around Yandy's waist. "I'm proud of you," he said quietly. "We're in this together." She leaned her head against his shoulder, letting the warmth of home wash away some of the tension. Meanwhile, on the other side of Atlanta, Erica Mena paced her own apartment, replaying the day's events. The leak of her apology clip had taken her by surprise, and mixed emotions churned within her: regret for the pain she'd caused, resentment for how the story had been told. She picked up her phone and typed out a message to her manager. "We need to salvage my reputation. I want to sit down with Jessica too. We're all airing it out. I want my side clear." She hit send, determined to take control of the narrative. Back at Yandy's home. Episode 2 of the show aired that night. Cameras captured her and Mendeecees' statement, the studio confrontation, the leaked apology. Viewers watched riveted by the raw emotion. Social media lit up with reaction videos, podcasts dissecting every angle, celebrities weighing in. The hashtag Mendeecees Sandy became a top trend. Yandy watched the episode unfold on her couch, Mendeecees beside her, both holding hands. At one point, a clip showed her eyes welled with tears as she said, "I deserved to know the truth." Fans reposted that moment nonstop. After the credits rolled, she turned to Mendeecees. "Did that feel like us?" He nodded. "They caught our real selves, the good and the messy." She exhaled, relief mingling with exhaustion. Maybe this is what people needed to see, just 2 humans trying to protect their family. He kissed her forehead, and now we can start fresh. But just as they settled in, her phone buzzed again. It was a DM from a producer hinting at a shocking twist in the next episode. Jessica's wellness retreat would bring unexpected alliances, old feuds reigniting, and perhaps a new target in their drama. A certain castmate who felt overlooked. Yandy stared at the screen, heart pounding. She knew peace was fleeting. She looked at Mendeecees, who was already scanning the message. They shared a knowing glance. In their world, the truth was never the end. It was just the beginning of the next revelation. And as the night deepened, Yandy realized that the storm they'd weathered was only the calm before the next thunderclap. The question wasn't whether they could survive what came next, but whether they were ready to face it together through the night. The anticipation for Jessica's wellness retreat grew like wildfire. Social media was ablaze with speculation. Who would show up? Hood clash? Even those outside the show were glued to their screens, waiting for the next explosive installment. Yandy and Mendeecees. The morning of the retreat dawned, humid and overcast. Atlanta's air heavy with the promise of drama. Jessica's event was set at a secluded estate on the outskirts of the city. Lush gardens, meditation pavilions, aromatherapy tents, a wandering labyrinth designed to soothe the soul. On paper, it was the ultimate escape for stressed reality stars. But insiders whispered that the underlying tension could turn any guided squat yoga session into a battlefield. Yandy dressed carefully, choosing a flowy white ensemble that read serenity. She wanted to send a message. Despite everything, Mendeecees pulled her clothes before they left. "Remember, you don't have to do anything you're not ready for," he said, kissing her forehead. But if you need to stand your ground, I got you." She nodded, grateful for his quiet strength. They arrived just as the retreat began. A gaggle of cameras and crew members created a makeshift red carpet. Castmates exchanged polite hellos, Rita in pastel loungewear, Bambi with her fiancé at her side, Spice looking contemplative beneath a floppy sun hat, Carly hiding behind oversized sunglasses. The atmosphere was polite but taut. Like a drawn bowstring waiting to snap, Jessica greeted everyone with a warm smile, arms wide open. "I'm so glad you're all here," she said. The next morning, Yandy checked her phone before getting out of bed. Notifications glowed like a constellation of praise and criticism. A headline from a popular blog read, "Did Yandy's forgiveness backfire? Fans react to Erica's retreat. Takeover." Another post teased, "Mendeecees looks relieved. Does it spell trouble?" For Erica, she scrolled past heart-thudding. These weren't just comments. They shaped perceptions, influenced careers. She slid the phone away, pressing a pillow to her ear. Sometimes she reminded herself, the world outside the screen wasn't real across. Erica Mena woke to her own flurry of messages, some supportive, others venomous. She stared at her reflection before a mirror, tracing the lines of exhaustion under her eyes. Last night's apology video had shown her at her most vulnerable. She'd admitted embellishing, hoping fans would forgive her honesty. Instead, she'd opened herself to fresh rounds of backlash. She muted her notifications and exhaled, vowing to take control of her narrative. Her next move, reach out to Jessica. Privately, propose a sit-down unfiltered by cameras, something genuine. Later that afternoon, Yandy convened a family meeting in the den. Mendeecees, Cordelia, and their eldest daughter gathered around a low table. Yandy took a deep breath. "I know you've all seen the headlines," she began. "This past week has been intense, but I want you to know what's real and what's not. Still your mom. We're still a family." Her daughter reached over to squeeze her hand. Mendeecees nodded, adding, "We'll face whatever comes together." In that room, grounded by love, the outside storm felt distant like a murmur. On a windy night across the city, Jessica convened her own planning session. She and her assistant sat before a whiteboard filled with ideas, community outreach plans, smaller private gatherings, moments to humanize her beyond the show. Jessica's producer hovered nearby, reminding her that the cameras would inevitably return. "If you show real care," he said, "you might win people over for good." Jessica tapped a marker against the board. "I don't just want ratings," she insisted. "I want a genuine connection." Maybe that's the real story here. Meanwhile, Rashida and Spice met for coffee in the same cafe where Yandy had sought solace days. Earlier, they sat at a corner table, the chatter of other patrons, a comforting backdrop. Spice stirred her latte, eyes downcast. "I'm tired of the fake smiles," she confessed. Rashida nodded, her expression softening. I feel you. But sometimes we gotta play the game to win the game. Spice looked up, a glimmer of resolve in her eyes. Let's do something different this season. Not just drama for drama's sake, Rashida grinned. Now that's the energy I like. In a small studio booth, a rumor mill churned. A local radio host teased an exclusive clip unnamed. Sources claiming that a certain castmate still had feelings for Mendeecees, that the apology trail was just the opening act. Though the host didn't name names, the implication was clear. Twitter exploded. Speculation soared. Yandy saw the clip retweeted in her timeline, her stomach twisting. She turned to Mendeecees, who frowned. They'll never let it go, will they? She shook her head. No, but we can decide what we let define us. Later that week, an unexpected message popped up on Jessica's phone. It was from Erica. Can we talk off camera? Jessica stared at the text, thumb hovering over reply. She remembered the sting of previous conversations, sharp words, unresolved tensions. Yet, here was a chance for genuine closure. She typed back, I'd like that. We'll meet next week. Yandy watched that exchange unfold on social media. Erica's public post tagging Jessica, grateful for a chance to speak honestly. Fans immediately championed the development. Finally, realness. Others scoffed. Too little, too late. The cycles spun onward. Amid all this, Mendeecees juggled. Interviews and book signings, each event peppered with questions about the drama. Answered with measured honesty, redirecting focus to his family and philanthropy. Yet every mention of the retreat, the apology, the radio gossip reminded him that even in the best hands, truth was a fragile asset. On a quiet evening, Yandy and Mendeecees sat on their patio, a soft breeze carrying the scent of magnolia. They shared a plate of fruit, letting the silence soothe their jitters. Mendeecees broke the calm. Next episode, anything can happen. She nodded. Eyes on the horizon, we'll be ready. Their world was one where emotions ran high and alliances shifted like sand. What they'd weathered so far was only the beginning. In the weeks to come, they'd faced new accusations. Old hurts would resurface, and every stumble would be out there for the world to see. But as long as they held on to their truth, the noise could never drown them out. And so as the night settled around them, Yandy and Mendeecees clinked their glasses. A silent pact between two people determined to protect their love amidst the ever-changing currents of reality TV drama. So, what do you think is really going on between Yandy Mendeecees and Erica? Are these rumors finally laid to rest, or is this just the calm before another storm? Drop your thoughts below and tell us who you believe. If you want more inside scoops on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. Trust me, you'll want to be the first to hear about the next explosive twist. Join the conversation.